Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so happy blue moon, happy full moon, happy super moon. Got a lot to celebrate today. So, with all that in mind, this is pretty rare. This is pretty special. So I hope, the magnification of this being a super moon means the moon is closer to Earth than usual. So it appears about 7% larger. The fact that this is actually the first of four consecutive super moons is also kind of special. And the fact that this is a blue moon, which can mean one of two things, but my understanding anyway, which is it's either the second full moon in a single month, but that's not the case this time around. Instead, it would be the other meaning, which is the third full moon in a season that happens to have four. And so that is, our summertime season is having four full moons in it. And so that's all kind of special and kind of powerful. So maybe this will be a time when whatever the energy is of the moon will be more magnified. So, hey, Ms. Hermit, great to see you, Angel. So let's go ahead and see where this storyline goes. All right, guys, I'll say hi to it properly at the end here, but now let's dive on in and see. We have got the energy of come together. Either somebody's a Beatles fan or an Aerosmith fan, because I'm thinking of that song right now, or this is amplifying the potential for love to pull people together. Now, I want to expand on this because I'm thinking of it in a, sorry, my hair is in my mouth and everywhere. I'm thinking of this in a context of maybe it's time to come together with anything that a character actually feels emotionally drawn to. So let's say it's not just about people, and let's say it's not just about romance. Let's say it's time to come together with, the causes that we hold near and dear. It's time to come together with the, like make time in our lives for the things that we actually want to, give our energy to. Maybe this full moon is going to really make some things come to the surface of a character's mind about stuff that they've wanted to do for a long time. Now, this could also be a great time for characters to literally gravitate toward each other, family members to reach out to each other. But obviously, this looks like love, okay? And I will say this, as independent and unique, and this is definitely two very unique and independent people that we're depicting on this card. And I say that because, the markings on a giraffe are as unique as our own fingerprints. So very unique energy, two unique individuals coming together. That might be like the power of this moon. Now, does it mean that characters have to listen to the pull of that moon? No, of course not. There's free will. But actually, before I go that route, let me get one of the moon decks rocking. Hey guys, nice to see everyone. All right, we have the card of balance. Actually referencing the harvest moon here. But with this card of balance, oh, this is nice. This is like even here, the coming together, the sharing the energy flow. This is a moon that should promote, I'll say, healing rifts, letting bygones be bygones, finding common ground, choosing to, I want to go to an animal deck because I'm wondering about the animal nature also. So the moon is sometimes representing the subconscious. The subconscious can be, that gut instinct, that animal intuition. So I want to kind of take a look from that perspective also. We have a hermit and we have our tower coming in. So we have Virgo and we have Aries. It's so either we have Virgos and Aries particularly being impacted right now, even though technically there's a full moon in Aquarius. Look at that full moon. I'm gonna say right now, my Virgo bear folk are gonna be like, they're really doing some deep diving, only because of what we see on this card, right? It's such a similar to the giant moon behind me, right? So this feels to me like the time for great introspection is here, and what a character is going to be recognizing is that it's time to change everything. It's time to, instead of being withdrawn, it's time to like drop the gates, drop the moat down so that things can cross and enter our lives. It is time. The only way to have balance and the only way to come together is if we reduce boundaries that we used to keep, erected, that were, the walls that protected us. So I'm thinking this is a time frame where characters as a whole might be more willing now than any other time to go ahead and, if they've had people blocked, unblock people. If they've had mental blockages, hard-hearted feelings or something, it's like, I remove all that, I release all that. It's time to not feel so resistant, I'll say, to the possibility of someone wanting to reconcile or someone wanting to make right with them. This feels like we have particularly one character, a character who has been alone for a while and a character who has thought about things pretty heavily. Now, we're not quite in Virgo season right now. We're still in Leo season for just a couple more days. But we're coming up to Virgo season, and the energy of a full moon lasts about 3 days. Today's the 19th. Virgo season, I think, starts on the 22nd. So we could morph right into Virgo season with this, still floating on the energy of the full moon. So we got a vibe going on. We've got, I think, a lead character. This is all kind of the energy that surrounds, but then how does it impact a particular character? A particular character is the one that is opening up their heart space, dropping down their defenses. Might there be a little bit of fears and scary stuff with the sensitivity? So, okay, here's the thing. Octopi are incredibly intelligent. They say they're as smart as about a 2-year-old. They experience the world differently. They use their little suckers to taste the world around them. They are incredible creatures. I think it said that they develop their own nervous system kind of spontaneously. They can morph their bodies into different shapes. They can camouflage. They can look like different things. It's pretty incredible, the things that they can do. This technically is the devil card. That represents fear, that represents possibly the change of all those things, the change or the fear of change, and the fear of being sensitive, and the fear of needing to alter. I'm hearing that song right now, which is so funny because I started out with Come Together and said, I don't know if somebody likes the Beatles because of that song Come Together right now over me. But there's another song that is, at least the version I know of it, is by John Lennon's son, Julian Lennon, and Rufus Wainwright is in it, and a couple of other amazing performers. But it's Across the Universe, and something about nothing's going to change my world. Nothing's going to change my world. That's kind of the refrain in it. But it actually is kind of a song about change, but it's also very a kind of a spiritual, esoteric kind of song is maybe the way I would describe it. I don't know if I've got that pegged right. Somebody fact check me, but that's the way I've always felt about that song. So I don't know why we got the Beatles and the Beatles progeny in this storyline, but there's something here about I want to say a character is saying, I'm afraid to change. I'm afraid to drop down my boundaries. I'm afraid to drop down my barriers. I'm actually scared to do it because how will it change me if I don't keep my walls up and I don't protect myself? On the other hand, our character is being challenged. Think about coming together. Think about balancing things out. We can't really balance stuff if we're not willing to make any concessions. We're not willing to adapt at all. So this is a moon that is challenging a character to be willing to do the scary thing, be willing to maybe meet somebody halfway, be willing to drop down a boundary. Don't say nothing's going to change my world no matter what. And I kind of think that's a big ask for a character. I do. I think that's a really big ask for someone, the fact that they're going to have to go that route. So we go back to our very unique giraffe. And this giraffe has, blossoming their own tree of life. This is actually the Ace of Wands in any other deck. And we have another ace, the Ace of Pentacles. So here's the thing. What is wonderful about this full moon is that we have a character who is still in the driver's seat. The thing that might help them combat their fear of dropping a boundary, unblocking somebody, entertaining the idea that if someone wants to make nice with me, if somebody wants to come back into my world, if somebody loves me and they want to reconnect with me, or they want to heal things with me, even though I'm scared, the thing that might change the fear for this character is to go back to center and say, hang on, aces are personal. This is all about me. What do I really want? What's in my own best interest? Because I never want to block blessings. I never want to say no to things that might be amazing for me. I don't want to be the person who, cuts off my own flow of abundance. In fact, I want to encourage abundance. I want things that I'm passionate about. So if I'm still feeling any kind of interest in a certain person and they would want to do right by me, show up in my world, connect with me, why wouldn't I say yes? And this doesn't have to be about taking exes back. Let's say this is about love as a whole. If our character has been afraid to open up their heart and love, the thing is, if they ask themselves, but do I want that? Do I want passion in my life? Do I want my life to blossom? Do I want to maybe have a chance for a totally different outcome for my life? If my answer is yes, then okay. It's worth it to do the kind of scary thing and drop my defenses and drop my boundaries and allow myself to come out of hermit mode and allow myself to be open to whatever presents itself. Because I think this is a story of a character that the universe is saying, sweetheart, you got to be willing to open your doors and windows and let abundance come in. You got to be willing to make eye contact with somebody. You got to be willing to answer the phone when somebody calls. You got to be willing to flirt back with a person who attracts you, who's clearly attracted to you. You have to be willing to receive the flow that is about to come into your life. Are you ready to say yes? And I think this is a moment of big prep work for our character. Can they say yes? If they don't think about it like, oh, great, so I got to take an ex back. No, I've had so many hateful comments lately. I've had the most crazy, hatey people out there lately. I've had to block more people in the last 48 hours than I've had to in like 3 months. I don't know why people are on angry benders screaming at me about how they're not taking exes back and this is BS and blah, blah, blah. Baby, these are all fictional stories. But I bring that up only to say this. By the way, 99.99% of everybody is amazing. It's just that one weird flood of like super tantrum people out there right now. But I only bring it up to say, even in this story, might our character become a super tantrum person and be like, I'm not there yet? That's okay. They don't have to. They can embrace whatever unhappiness or fear they want to, or they are still in charge and they can say, what am I hungry for? Don't have to take back exes, but do I want someone? Well, maybe I do. Okay, or do I want something, some abundance to flow into my life? Sure, I'll take $100. Why not? Sure, I'll take a new car. Sure, I'll take a better job. Sure, I'll take an awesome dream place to live in. Sure, I'm hungry for good things in my life. So why would I ever block anything? And if the contingency is in order to have awesome things come into my life, I do have to allow it in instead of stand there and shriek that I don't want anything. Don't you tell me what I have to do. Nobody's telling this character what they have to do. It's only encouraging a character to think about, babe, what do you want for you? Whatever you want, you got to also be willing to not like stop it at the gate. People that are screaming at me because they're angry, but this was free entertainment. You didn't pay for it. This was nothing. It cost you nothing. You chose to click on it. You had to be the active participant to come find my channel, to watch it. It was all free. It didn't do anything to you. It's not about you, but you're still that angry. But it doesn't really make sense because you can use your time differently and better and by not clicking on it. So it was always in your hands. It was always your power to avoid me. So if you come seeking things only to stand there and shriek that you don't want it, it's kind of like that's what this whole story is kind of like. Sorry, I'm using it as an analogy, but that just has happened so much in the last 48 hours that I'm kind of chuckling because I'm like, wow, that's such a great analogy for this. A character who is going to shriek and scream that they don't want something, that's okay. They don't have to. This is a passive action for our character. All they have to do is just welcome stuff in, and it's only if they want it. So they hold all the power. Nobody tells them what to do. But it is a really good point, I think, that the things we reach for in life, why reach for anything if you're going to be mad and you don't want it? You don't have to do this. But this is a really good time to evaluate, I hold all the power. What would I like for myself? Do I seek something positive? Do I reach for something that I want? Am I intrigued by something? Do I want something? Am I willing to lean into it instead of instantly reject it? To do that means, our character they have to choose this, but they don't have to. They can choose not to move forward. They can choose not to lower their guards. They can choose to continue to say, no, thank you. That is completely their prerogative. This story is about a character this particular character does want something awesome in their life. They do want to welcome in something positive. They do want to welcome in love. We have a 6 of Cups in the reverse. We have the Action of Pentacles upright, and we do have the Justice card. This, this oh my gosh, you guys are hilarious. This feels like a character has admittedly been soured on a situation. Something happened that was not fair, and they have remembered that piece of unfairness, and that is what has made somebody upset, right? That is the vibe of the 6 of Cups in the reverse. That is the energy of like, oh no, I don't want that because somebody treated me so bad. Yeah, it's been a while, but I still remember it really, really well. No wonder our character is afraid to let down their guard. Who wouldn't be, right? It's so understandable. They're like, but it really hurt. That's why I'm scared. Something was really bad. Somebody treated me really bad, and it really hurt. We have the King of Cups. Particularly if there was a lot of love here, that could have been the reason why it really hurt. Because how come somebody who should have been my other seahorse, my person that promised me they were going to be good to me forever, and then instead they did something really unfair and they really hurt me? This could have been a Libra, this could have been a water sign, but it was certainly like, this is what our character went through. But this is their storyline where they're coming to this moment where they are revisiting the why. Why have I put up a boundary? Well, because I had to keep myself safe because I got really hurt. Okay, but during this full moon is a time to somehow maybe consider anyway, either letting it go, facing the fears, relaxing the energy, not feeling like a character has to keep themselves safe all the time, but just saying, you know what, I'm going to be over this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let myself move forward. 3 of Pentacles. Does this mean that somebody has to be willing to forgive an ex if an ex shows back up? No, not at all. But if deep down this is what they wish would happen, then they can't block it and wish for it all at the same time, because that's super mixed signals. That's what this storyline is about. During this full moon, full moons can be great for bringing up things from the subconscious, bringing it into the forefront so we can decide how to deal with it. Or it can be, a time to like cleanse stuff, release stuff. And this feels kind of like one of those traditional stories, right? Our character has this amazing opportunity to bring things up from the subconscious, which first is, I want love and I want balance. And the universe says, awesome. So what do you think your obstacles are to having it? It's like, well, I got these boundaries up and I've been holding myself back from everybody and I've been pretty scared. The universe gently says, well, what are you passionate about? What would you like? Would you like love? Yeah, I would. Would you like a fresh start? Yeah, I would. What do you think about when you think about fresh starts and love and the fear all rolled into one? And our character knows. They go right to, well, I had this soulmate and I don't think they're coming back, but when I was with them, they hurt me so bad. They did me so wrong. That's where my fear comes from. That's also where my longing comes from. That's also why I've been a hermit. That's also, why I am the way I am right now. And the universe is just gently saying, okay, but let's go back to, what do you want? You want a 3 of Pentacles. You want to lean into somebody. You want consistency. You want somebody you can count on. You want somebody you can collaborate and build with. Okay. All right. So how does our character get that? It feels like the universe is helping our character think through their subconscious right now. 7 of Pentacles. Think about how much they've grown. Think about how many things are different in their life now. Because over passage of time, we grow, we get stronger, we get sometimes more compassionate. We have a broader worldview. We have all kinds of, this character has gone through tremendous growth during the time frame that they kind of walled themselves off to deal with a hurt or a heartbreak. But at this point, they're in a really beautiful, like, with the Seven of Pentacles, there's this huge amount of growth that our character has already gone through. Six of Wands, Six of Pentacles. Sixes are collaborations. Our character is actually truly ready. They don't have to stay a hermit. They don't have to feel scared or nervous. They have a ton to offer. It would be a shame if this beautiful person were to continue to withhold because of the pain that they've been through, because they have so much to offer. And in truth, the universe is just gently pointing out, sweetheart, what do you think about yourself? And they're like, well, I do want collaboration. I do want something. I am passionate. I would like my tree of life to grow. I would like a new beginning. Okay, the fact that you are hungry for that right there says, look at how much you've grown then. You already got to a point where you do feel a lot better. You know that the reason you're hungry to actually collaborate with somebody now, the reason that you'd like to come together with somebody right now, is because you can envision that. You can envision giving and receiving. You actually do know you have a lot of worth. You have a lot of value to share with someone. That's probably why you're hungry for it, because you're ready for it. I think this is just like the universe is just simply pointing out all of these little components of the subconscious. And this character is, they're a deep person, right? They've had deep experiences that scarred them deeply. They have deep love. They have incredible passion. They have an incredible desire to continue to grow. And they have I would say, the down to earth energy and knowledge to say, of course, I'm more than one painful experience. And of course, I have a lot to still give. And of course, I would like to give. And I maybe have healed quietly long enough to now drop my defenses and welcome new things into my life. I think I'm there. And I think that's all this is this full moon represents a little conversation that a character is having between their subconscious, their big brain, and the universe. And it's just highlighting all of this seemingly simple stuff, but it's really showcasing our character is ready. We got a Four of Cups in the reverse. Our character, it does not need protection from the universe. They don't need to hide away anymore. They don't need to tuck themselves away. There is no illusion. There is no delusion. There is no missed opportunity. There's no more tears. Our character is ready to get back out there and start drawing energy toward them again. Start entertaining the idea of being in a relationship, having love around them again. They're ready for partnership. And I think this is like the comeback story of a character who has taken a goodly long time to get back to themselves. And I think that's all this is revealing. The moon is great at hiding things or revealing things, bringing things from that subconscious to the forefront. I love this character. I love their strength. I love their process through their hurt and their pain and their devastation to reclaiming themselves and never really losing sight of what their worth and value is. But simply for a while, I think they were so hurt. It was like, I don't know if I can go through another round right now. So I'm going to do the prudent thing and I'm going to withdraw, nurse my wounds, and make sure that I know who I am and know, what I really, when I'm ready again. This is not somebody who was like, oh, the best remedy to get over somebody is get under somebody else. That is not how this person rolls. They're like, I don't pretend stuff didn't bug me that did. I have to heal truly. And then when I'm healed, so I don't go bleed my wounds, my, oozy wounds on a new person, I have to make sure I'm good first. So I don't go and taint some other connection. I feel like this is a pretty mature character who took care of what they had to. Yes, they walled themselves off for a little bit. That's their process. That's what they have to do. Maybe everybody operates different. This character happens to operate that way. Let me just ask one question, though. In regards to that Six of Cups, that was a soulmate who really hurt this character. Let me just say, if our character simply lays down their I'll say the the walls, even in regards to that soulmate. Like now I'm not going to be worried about that. I'm not going to panic about that. I'm not going to freak out about that possibly coming in. It kind of says that that soulmate, they have a lot of fears right now. Strength card in the reverse. Whoever that soulmate was that did our character so wrong, they have not been having an easy time of it. At this snapshot in time during this full moon, they're pretty scared. What are they scared of? They're either low energy right now or they're scared of something. Whew, there we go. We got the Justice card sideways, and remember that was them before they, as a soulmate who did somebody dirty. The thing they're so scared of is the lies that they've told, or the lies that they tell themselves, and the way it ended up as a pretty big injustice. They haven't forgotten our lead character. They're thinking and probably really bothered. I'm hearing oh gosh, what's his face? I'm sorry to like point this out because he's a super talented artist, but to Post Malone, I was going to say he has tattoos on his face. It's not Lil Wayne. And I couldn't think of his name at first, but I hate to just use one identifying feature because he's such a great, great artist, great singer. But that song, I Fall Apart. Ooh, I Fall Apart. Deep down in my soul. I can't think of the rest of the words, even though I can hear it going on and on and on in my head. I don't know if that's associated with them. I don't know if they're falling apart right now, even though that song is really about, he's singing about like a woman who, she was my shorty, I thought, something like that. But anyway, it's she's not with him anymore. And, he's falling apart in his soul. This storyline, all I can say that, or I should say that song pops up into my head while I'm looking at these cards for them. So I don't know if they are the ones who messed this up, but they're also the ones falling apart right now. They're certainly upset and scared of what went wrong. What's the Seven of Swords? This is somebody who wore little masks, There's a lot of reasons people wear masks. Sometimes they wear masks because they were scared to begin with, scared to be authentic, scared to really show who they were, scared about all of it. Nine of Cups and the Sun. Oh, they were faking that they were happy. Everything is shiny. My life is awesome. It's just the life I'd want to have. So they were miserable when they knew our character. Boy, why did they front so much? This person is extremely scared of the mistakes they already made and the wrong that it came out to be, but their lies were about supposedly being super happy and having like a 5-star kind of, life. I don't understand. Two of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. If they were some unconscionable individual who was like, oh, I pretended that it was a really strong relationship and I really wanted to work with whoever the lead character is, and I told them, oh, this is a Two of Cups, but really I was just out cheating, they wouldn't be distressed because it wouldn't bother them. The fact that they're so distressed over this, and that, again, they were pretending like their life was really organized, really good. They were pretending like they were ready for this, is the way I would interpret it. They pretended that it was all systems go. I'm ready to be in this solid connection. We're going to build everything. And not even a little bit of that part was true. This person did not have staying power. This person did not have, a knight is not going to be able to do all this. This requires planning and, building blueprints and creating a life, being an architect of a life together, promising, it's you and me having our back, and we're going to build this whole thing, and it's going to be amazing. This is what their big lie was about. My life is awesome. Everything is awesome. We're going to be awesome. We are going to build such a great life. How are you going to do that when the best you could do is hang out for 2 hours and then split for 6 months and pop back in for 3 hours and split for 3 more months? And, a Knight of Wands is like, this person might have been extremely like coming and going. They were not The promises they made to build something stable, definitely they did not have capacity to follow through with. And if at this point in time, during this full moon, how the full moon is hitting them, because remember, this is a time of subconscious stuff coming to the surface. If their energy is, I am depleted, I am distressed, I am fearful about how messed up I made things because I lied through my freaking teeth about how awesome my life is and all the things I promised when in fact I was just a knight. What does that mean right now then? I mean, why are they being bombarded with their own actions? Why is this what's coming to the surface for them? Hanged Man, Eight of Wands, Ten of Swords. My impression is that this is a person who didn't have what it took at any point in time to face the music, to face the reality. I feel like they wanted to never let this situation ever gain closure by them finally coming clean and saying, I wasn't ready. I said that I was all these things and I wasn't. My life was back and forth, back and forth. I fly in, I fly out. That's what my life is. And I feel like they never wanted to fully like face that. They've been dealing with this for so freaking long. Piscean energy here. They delay doing the thing that they need to do because they believe it's going to bring about a full ending. The comedy of this is, honey, you already ended it because the lead character, you already caused them grief and pain, which you know you did. And they're getting over you and they're ready to love again. You've wanted to like keep a door open by never fully giving closure, delaying, either they're hoping that someday they could come back or worrying that when I do come back, then they'll just tell me they never want to talk to me again. But you're already not talking to them. You're already not connecting to this person. So what is it that you think you have to lose? Ace of Wands in the sideways position. I don't know if this person just, I'm sorry, my doggy is it's very active right now. I don't know if this is mostly that they need to not be told that it's over. They don't want to be the person who's not wanted. That's going to be really hard for them to hear. Maybe they have thought they were keeping some possibility alive by never letting a door close completely. Do they have any intention of attempting to somehow course correct or explain anything? Yeah. Emperor and Six of Coins. That's always been what the plan was. Someday. It's like this person has lived in fantasy land of one fine day, I'm going to show up dressed in a, three-piece suit, a man of means, a woman in a power suit, whatever. It doesn't matter if I'm masculine or feminine, but one day I'm going to come in, I'm going to make everything right. Here we have like the Libra scales. We saw them on the Justice card. We see them now. I'm going to come in, I'm going to heal the heart. It's going to be this awesome, protected energy. I kind of think we're dealing with a fantasist. They were in fantasy land before. They pretended, oh, everything's great. My life is awesome. This was their lie. Their lie was everything is awesome. Everything is clear. There's no boundaries. We're going to have an amazing life together. And they play different roles for who they wish they were or what they wish their life was going to be. But the actual effort that it would require, they always say, oh, fake it till you make it. This is an example of why you shouldn't do that. That saying only fits to a certain extent. Like that's, it's your first day at a new job and you're nervous because everybody's nervous and you fake that you're like, oh, this is so awesome. And inside you're like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. That to me is an understandable fake it till you make it. Or, you're having a crummy day, but you're going to plaster on a smile. And then maybe by the end of the day, you actually do feel better. That again is an okay fake it till you make it. But if you're telling a whopper of a lie, we're going to be married, you're my Two of Cups, this life is awesome. And you already know, except I can't change anything to be with you. We live at a distance. I can't move. I can't have you move to be with me. I've fabricated this whole thing. I want you, but I don't want to tell you that I have no way to make this happen. That is not a good example of fake it till you make it. All you're going to do then is come across like a liar. But if in their mind they're like, but someday I'm going to be this amazing emperor. Someday, it's all going to be perfect. It's all going to be balanced out. How How is that going to happen when you didn't do any of stuff? And in fact, when you think, if I actually come toward this lead character, I keep delaying doing it because I know it's just going to be an ending, because I'm going to come forward someday and they're going to tell me a big fat no. I don't want you. You hurt me. And it's just going to be over. And I don't want to hear it be over, because I'd rather live in my fantasy of someday I'm going to come back and it's going to be amazing. If this character is maybe dealing with this fairy tale that they tell themselves during this full moon, if this is what their subconscious is like puking up to say, hey, we need to deal with this. You living in fantasy land of what you're going to do someday, but you don't do any of the things, because remember, they start out with a fear factor. It's like this person's been afraid to look at real life and the real choices they've made and where it's gotten them. So they keep clinging to something in the ether of someday this is all going to happen, someday, but they're not actually taking steps toward making that a reality. And for some reason, now is a really good time for them to maybe look at, what am I doing when I make all these claims in my brain and I like to live up here, but I'm not doing any of the things in my real life. Again, the full moon brings stuff to the surface. So we have kind of two different examples of what the subconscious might be bringing to the surface for two different characters. And I think it's like, maybe this is just a super powerful, super cathartic moon that challenges characters to like look at their fears, focus on what is the one thing you're most terrified of. Because we know our lead character, they're afraid to let their guards down. This person over here, they're afraid of this entire situation. They're afraid of coming forward. They're afraid of addressing what already happened, because they're afraid if they do, they're going to get a I'm done with you. And they want to live in the fantasy of, no, I could still have this. But it's a good time to look at fears and address them so that the fears can kind of be vanquished and we can just deal with facts. I think that's what the big message is. That's how I would interpret this whole story. What is the benefit of looking at our fears? Because then we can sift through what's just fantasy fear versus, why are we scared? What do we need to let go of? And then how can we move forward in the 3D world and really like go after the things that we genuinely want, so our life is good and it's not lived up here without ever any tangible process. I kind of think that's an amazing message. I know it took me 37 minutes to get there, but I think that's kind of an amazing message. Wipe away the fear or move right through it. Be brave enough to look at the fears so we can get to the good stuff, living real life, living our best life, choosing our happiest life. We can't do that if we only live in fear or if we only live in fantasy. It's a big challenge. This full moon is, it's a doozy. It's a doozy. Final message. Hi, baby dog. How you doing? Final message is 4 of Cups. It's not going to be so scary after all. You notice she has all this sense of peace and calm. You notice that the tree of life is pruned into the shape of a heart, so there's love all around. The 4 of Cups is about illusion, and I think fear is the illusion. It's not so scary. In fact, when we only think about it like, hey, what do I really want? I want good stuff in my life. I want to be really happy. Okay, that's not scary. In fact, that sounds pretty damn good. So what do I need to do? Okay, make peace with the stuff that I've been scared of. But now, what's got my back? Well, my life is going to keep growing. There's tons of love to be had on this planet. There's people to love. Love has not passed either of these characters by. They can definitely take a hold of it. I mean, heck, even this character who has been freaking out, this emperor character, well, they wish that they were an emperor and they promise themselves someday they will be. Even they could break through their fear and possibly still have another chance at a relationship with this exact lead character if they can just get through the illusions, because it's about illusions and how illusions lead to missed opportunities. But they don't have to be missed opportunities, but it does require making peace with the fear and then going only for the love, only for the best stuff. Don't let fear stop us from having the best life possible, or opening our hearts to having great love. I really like that message. I think it turned out all right. You guys, thanks so much for being here. Rhonda, you sweetheart. Oh, Martina Walsh, so great to see you, Angel. Bluegrass Hater, wonderful to catch you. It's been a hot minute. Nat Louise, thank you, honey. Hi, Bubba Ganoush. You sweetheart. You angel. We got lucky on this batch of cards. They came out with a good a good vibe on these cards, even though that was a tough message at times. Steve B, you said moonrise in the Pacific Northwest is beautiful. Oh, are you watching moonrise in the Pacific Northwest? That's awesome. San Juanita, thanks for being here. Ms. Hermit, 11 to 8, thank you so much. I'm sorry I didn't even look up to say thank you properly. I was too immersed in the story. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. 11 to 8, and you've been a member for 2 months already, sweetheart. Thank you so much for being here. Jessica Rios, Molly, Alana Williams. Thank you to all of the members out there, you guys. Thank you everybody for popping by to hang with me tonight. Hey, Rach. Oh, no worries. Dwayne Anderson, I haven't seen you in a hot minute. How are you? Yes, out there in Harris County, Georgia. You always make me think of where I want to travel next. Irene Padilla, how are you, honey? Hi, Ethel Rose. At Angulo Girl, did I say that right? Thank you for being here. I'm sorry if I botched your name, honey. Karen Lynn. Jillian, shout out to you, New Zealand, hun. I always think of you now immediately as New Zealand, Jillian. RSCP, good morning, honey. Hey, Dee. Emma Lisa. Hey, Misty Barrett. Andrew, how are you? RS, I love music. Oh my gosh. And I have no musical talent whatsoever. And so I think that's why I love music so much. I listen to literally everything. Susie, thank you. This is a really old blouse, actually. I probably have worn it 3 times in all the years I've owned it. And I think I've owned it since I was maybe 27, and I'll be 44 pretty soon. Hi, ZP. Camila, how are you, hun? RS, I didn't know you're in New York City. That's awesome. Hey, Shannon Clark. Christina DePriest, thank you for being here. Hey, Susie. Curtis Arian. Thanks again, San Juanita. You sweetheart. Sandy Nesta. Well said. Well said, Sandy Nesta. Hey, Bexin Warrior. What is Bexin? Bexin or Bexina Warrior? Bexina, that's a cool name. Is that your first name, Bexina? Or does that mean something else? I know, I like it. You don't get many names that have X's in them, you know? And so I'm like, oh, that rolls off the tongue really nice. Hey, Denise Foxon. Thank you again, Rhonda. Right back at you, hon. Hey, Flo. Cinder. I didn't know so many of you were with me tonight. Hi, Nan Robbins. Devil's in the details. Sabrina, thank you. Thank you guys so much for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Thank you for the reminder, Sabrina. I appreciate you so much. Hey, Joe. Sherry Marshall's in the house. Nandiri Arena. Yeah, I enjoyed this one too. Silas, did I say that right? Silas Media, SYLS, Silas. That's awesome. Julie May, happy full moon to you also, honey. Hey, David. Great to see you. I don't know, David, if I've ever caught you in a live before. Thank you for being here, David Harrison. Black Butterfly. Hi, sweetheart. You know, Black Butterfly, I feel pretty decent, but I'm actually still contagious. I thought I just had asthma. It turned out I'm actually sick. And so I'm still coming across as contagious. And so now it's just kind of an annoyance. Like I still have my voice probably sounds a little bit off because I still have like sinus pressure and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of weird. I haven't actually been sick in a while where I was sick. So I was surprised to discover this. But it's more of an annoyance for me than really being down sick. I'm a little more tired than usual. But yeah, it's everybody out there, stay well, take good care of yourselves. Hey, Ingrid, Victoria Knox, great to see you. Hey, Wendy. Lisa's love. Hi, honey. Hi, Shirley. So glad to see you guys tonight. Teresa White. Hello, hello, darling. Truth Wave Energy Meditation. I'm glad you made it tonight. Andrea Ramirez. Hi, honey. Hi, Emma-Lisa. Shout out to you in Cape Cod. Crystal Suzanne, thank you again, sweetheart. You are so incredibly generous. Thank you. Victor Sedona. Hi. Happy full moon. Right back at you, Misty. Thank you for sharing your awesome energy here. Hey, Melissa. Jonathan, is it huge? I haven't looked out tonight. Last night, it was a super beautiful moon and it wasn't even full yet. So I'm excited to go out and take a peek at it. Piscean Witchery. Hey, hey. I probably won't get any zodiacs done today. Those will start up tomorrow, just so you know. But I will make a mental note that you're looking forward to the next Pisces video. Okay, Pisces Witchery. Martina Welsh, she was so cute. I would gladly share my wardrobe with you. Honestly, I need to start weeding some things out. Not everything works on me anymore. There's stuff I need to surrender. I'm older now. Oh, Victor Sedona, Aries is really good. He is, well, I don't know if you hear him back there, but he woke up from a nap and he's been, shaking his head at me, and he just came by and licked my ankle. And Mr. Aries is, he runs me still. Anonymous Angel, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for your awesome vibes. Kins, you're enjoying the moon in Kentucky also. Isn't it nice that we're all just kind of like, we're seeing the same big old gorgeous moon. Truth Wave Energy Meditation, you sweetheart. What a kind thing. Whoever would say no to good vibes? Thank you so much for that. That's really sweet. And I definitely send everybody the exact same kindness. Thank you. It's really sweet. Prime Creator, hey, hey. Very nice. Ingrid, you're seeing the moon tonight also. That's wonderful. I don't know if Aries will sleep so good tonight. I personally don't usually sleep very good around a full moon. I think it's just because it's really bright and it does come right in my bedroom window and right across the bed. And so like last night, I actually didn't sleep good at all because it was so bright. But I have a feeling tonight will be even worse. And I have definitely noticed that my Aries is like, maybe he's just specifically attuned to me. Aries is bonded only to me. He likes the other people in my household. He likes my friends. He likes my family members. But he is bonded specifically to me and my emotions. And like that is, if Mama's not sleeping, Aries isn't sleeping. It doesn't matter that the rest of the house is doing great. He is like so reactive. But then I think he's also probably feeling the moon himself. You want to come up and say hi to Victor? Hi. Hi, little carpet shark. Do you want to come up? I know there's not a lot of space here, but come here. Mama will make you some room. Come here. Come up and say hi, little moon dog. Oh, I don't know if you can see my big Tatanka. There he is. Happy full moon, everybody. Happy full moon. He's already had a really big long walk, but I have a feeling, let's see. Yeah, it's time he goes out one more time. So I will be back, and then I'll do one other video on Tarot Dog, because we obviously, come on, we can't leave Tarot Dog out since that's Aries Vanity Channel. But I will do a blue moon, full moon message over there. But that's probably all I'll do tonight, because I'm actually going to try anyway to get caught up on sleep. We'll see if I sleep tonight. Good luck to everybody out there. Beth Ross, sweetie, good to see you. Priceless Princess. I know Martina Welsh. He is a big boy. He's actually, the blue healers in the United States are bigger than the blue healers in Australia. Whatever the breed that they kind of like brought over here, they still look just like blues, but they are larger. And of course, the males are bigger than the females anyway. But as blue healers go, they're supposed to cap out. The male should cap out at about 45 pounds. He is a full-blown 52 pounds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it actually is. And if you see him next to other blue healers, he looks pretty large. His dad was a red healer, his mama was a blue. And he's just, I don't know, his mom was really petite, really small, but his daddy was a big boy and he took after Papa. So all I know is I'm kind of glad he's still, he still is a pretty small, medium-sized dog, but he's larger than most blues. He's larger than the blue that I grew up with. Our original blue healer was with us for 19 years, and granted, it was a she, but she was like all I had ever known, really, most of my life. And then this is the first time I've actually raised my own dog, and it's the first time I've ever had a male. So maybe he also seems a lot larger to me, but I do know that they tend to be larger in the United States than they actually are in Australia. Oh, Leslie, shout out to you in Netherlands. I'm so glad to hear you're watching the beautiful moon tonight also. It's so cool that we're also connected. Voyager 2, good to see you, hun. Hey, Stephanie. I hear you, Beth Ross. Hey, Diana. KJ987, nice to see you. Thank you, Anonymous Angel. Victor Sedona, good. I'm glad you were still in the house. I was hoping that you got to say hi to him. Oh, RS, I know. In fact, I've had friends and family members saying, are you sure you didn't give birth to him? Because he couldn't be more like your own child. Granted, he's a dog and he's furry, but man, does he seem like he's mine. He was always meant to be mine. Truth wave energy meditation. Awesome. Enjoy the energy of the moon there too. Hi, Susan. All right, you guys, I'm going to bounce on out for the moment. Curtis Arion, thank you so much for hanging with us tonight. You guys are so awesome. All right, everybody. John Schultz, shout out to you, honey. Thank you for the bouquet. Hi, Daniela Ramirez. I'm glad you enjoyed this one too. All right, you guys, lots of love. I will see you on Tarot Dog in probably 40 minutes or so. All right, I got to go attend to puppy. Bye.